Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with a nice little rant video, or I guess an update video, to the Mythic Edition bungle that has been going on for now over a week since Wizards of the Coast tried to release this sale through eBay, and of course it led to the problems that I covered in another video of many of the orders getting canceled and a lot of angry customers. And let me preface this by saying that I sell Wizards of the Coast product, and this reflects badly on my business and just my brand as a game store that does sell Magic the Gathering products. I've had local customers reach out to me, come in angry to my store, complaining about their purchase and asking if I could somehow rectify it, which is just a nonsense in my opinion because I have nothing to do with this product. But nonetheless, it is a black eye for everyone that's involved in Magic the Gathering, especially people that sell the products. So I have reached out to Wizards and basically told them my anger at this and how it's reflected poorly on me as a partner, a sales partner with them and whatnot, and have yet to receive back a response. However, this morning I was given a message. I don't think there's any personal information on here, so we're good. From someone that just had their order canceled 2 days. If you look at the date, it's May 8th is the cancellation is when they have opened up the case. And there's a problem because there is a message going around from Wizards of the Coast saying, do not cancel the order. If we're going to refund you, we need the order to be still pending on eBay, and then we'll be able to refund you. And then eBay saying a completely different thing, saying we cannot refund you unless you cancel your recent purchase. So there's a lot of misinformation, and it just continues to be a massive headache for everyone involved with this Mythic Edition War of the Spark. So lo and behold, though, all of this headache has led to something even more dramatic, and this is a class action lawsuit. So I did tweet out that I thought that there could be some room for a class action lawsuit, but the whole reason I was saying that there could be a class action was because of misrepresentation of a stated print run. So on Twitter and other sources, Wizards of the Coast employees tweeted out that there was only 12,000 of these available, and then when I saw the numbers of 40,000 plus being sold, I'm like, whoa, that's illegal. You cannot do that. You cannot misrepresent something that is an investable product. So that would end up not being the case. It ended up being a problem with the way that the eBay tracker tracked the amount of orders, not actually fulfilled orders. It was just basically everyone that tried to order, and it gave a way misrepresentation of way above the amount that were actually able to fulfill, and so they had to end up canceling tens of thousands of orders of eBay orders for this product. So lo and behold, though, there is a class action underway. This is by Werner Wetherington. They have filed a class action lawsuit for the War of the Spark Mythic Edition. So we're just going to read through this, and I'm going to give my opinions on this class action. My initial one is just a little bit frivolous, a little bit shaky. Usually you have to basically prove gross negligence, I think is the proper term to be stated for when you go into a transaction with another party, and they first of all you'd have to, this isn't fraud. I don't think that anyone can make the case that this is fraud. No one was defrauded of the product. Fraud is when you go with the intent of cheating someone or the intent of misrepresenting something. Negligence, though, is something in law that you have to have a reasonable amount to rectify the situation. And if you don't go through the reasonable methods of rectifying the situation, you can be sued for gross negligence. And I think this is exactly where this law firm is trying to prove that Wizards has been negligent, that they haven't gone through the proper channels to rectify the situation. So here are the criterias for joining class action. You place an order for War of the Spark on eBay, received a confirmation email from eBay, then had your order canceled, and have not authorized eBay to cancel the contract. So what is the base of the lawsuit? By listing War of the Spark on eBay with a buy it now price, Hasbro and Wizards made an offer to sell the set of individuals at the listed price. eBay's terms of service specifically state that when an offer for an item is accepted, it creates a legally binding contract. You enter into a legally binding contract to purchase an item when you commit to buy an item. You offer for an item is accepted, or you have the winning bid, or your bid is otherwise accepted. Both purchasers and sellers must agree to the above terms prior to buying or selling on eBay. Anyone who clicked the Buy It Now button to purchase War of the Spark and completed their order entered into a binding contract. By the time that Hasbro and Wizards announced their intent to breach the contract, buyers could only obtain War of the Spark Mythic Edition at a substantially higher fair market value. By refusing to complete the sale, Hasbro and Wizards are in a breach of contract, and affected purchasers are entitled to recover damages in an amount equal to the fair market value of their purchase. So I'm thinking right now on eBay, the boxes are going for about $800. That's quite significant. From $300 to $800 is the difference between. In that's exactly how a lot of business investments work. You can actually sue for like implied damages of what could have been. So if you made an investment that didn't go through, a lot of times that's where these suits come in, is saying, okay, well, I missed the opportunity to make $1,000, so therefore you, as the person that breached the contract, owe me $1,000, even though a money transaction never went through. That's kind of the theory. These things are very, very tough to prove, though. Like, again, I'm not a legal expert. This is just a lay person with my opinions based upon of other cases that I've followed in the past. These things are very, very tough to prove in the court of law. And I think that there's a lot of wiggle room with eBay and Wizards of the Coast with the way that just they're both are definitely going to pivot and blame the other one for sure. Yeah, we'll have to. It's going to be very interesting with this. So let's continue. It is our position that the affected customers currently have a binding contract for the sale of War of the Spark Mythic Edition. If Hasbro and Wizards breach the contract, you may be entitled to monetary damages. If you consent to the cancellation, the contract will no longer be binding, and you will not be entitled to participate in this lawsuit as a class member or otherwise be able to pursue damages in an individual action. So they're advising people not to cancel on eBay. Are you asking Wizards of the Coast or Wizards to print more? No, this lawsuit is about breach of contract claim only. How can I join the lawsuit? If you're interested in joining the lawsuit, a class action representative, and meet all the criteria above, please send litigation to the email listed here. I do not want to be included in this lawsuit. What can I do? eBay has sent affected users an email asking for your consent to cancel the contract. If you give consent to cancel the contract, you will not be included in the lawsuit. Even if you do not give consent to cancel, you will still be able to exclude yourself from the class if certified at a later date. Additional details will follow. And how do you receive updates? They'll have a Twitter for the lawsuit, and you can contact an attorney in your jurisdiction if you're not a citizen of the United States. That's very, very tough outside the United States to sue an in-United States company. So I guess Hasbro is globally traded, though, so I'm sure that might be something. And same with eBay. So that's interesting that this is happening right now. Again, I think they're speaking from not a legal person. I have to give that disclaimer. This just does seem a bit shaky to try to enforce this. But by the time, like, this is the area we're entering into that's getting very, very scary. Like, this has always been just a hobby that hasn't been regulated. If you really want to get into the meat of things, I remember Game Store that did not buy cards. They were the only store that I've ever come across that did not buy singles. I'm like, why don't you buy singles? Like, this is ridiculous. That's the best way for local game stores to make money. And then they went on this big rant about how they're the only store in the history of stores that is actually, being legal, because it's illegal to buy singles and then put them back in your, like, there's some pawn shop laws where you have to give like a time period of when you buy a specific good. You can't put it back on sale until it goes through a process. There's taxes that are involved. There's fees that are involved. There's a lot of like things that if we actually were to follow the law to a T, they would make it an absolute headache to buy and sell in Magic the Gathering. And this is what concerns me. The more and more that this is going to be looked at as a commodity, looked at as trading any other sort of commodity, the more the government is going to put their filthy, dirty hands into the mix. And it's just a headache that I don't want to deal with. It'll be the undoing of the hobby. And you got to really blame Wizards of the Coast for doing these stupid Mythic Edition boxes to begin with, when all they were was this race for an investable product. The vast majority of people that were buying Mythic Edition were just trying to flip the damn things. And like, this is a horrible way to get the product out to actually people that wanted to enjoy the product. eBay is notorious for sharks. eBay is notorious for flippers. And it should have gone through a different channel. So shame on Wizards of the Coast for going through the eBay channel to begin with. I know they're just salivating at the potential profits of cutting out the distributors, cutting out the local game stores, and going directly to consumer. But I mean, you kind of reap what you sow. I don't feel sorry for Wizards of the Coast. It's been a headache on my end as a strategic partner of Wizards, of selling their product, of having angry customers now boycotting Wizards of the Coast products because they had this horrible Mythic Edition, bungle, and it could have been done in a much better way. It just baffles me that a company that's been around for this long doesn't anticipate these sort of problems. It's now what, 3 out of 4 Mythic Editions have had problems. You think they'd have it solved by now. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see the response from Wizards of the Coast. They're planning this like thank you. Last time they sent box toppers to everyone as a big thank you, and that basically disarmed everyone. But this particular Mythic Edition, the difference, exactly what this lawsuit is trying to state, the difference is of the flipping price is about $500. You could have easily just bought this for $300 and sold it for $800, and very, very quickly. There are people that are paying that amount for this Mythic Edition, which is just, again, it's scary territory we're getting into when we have, revised dual lands that are approaching $1,000. We have, the power just continues to go up. The reserve list continues to go up in value. This is the unfortunate, consequences of when a hobby becomes so mainstream, as the legal stuff, the law, the government, the law, the whole shebang gets involved in the trading of this newfound, hobby commodity. So maybe it's time to get out of the whole Magic the Gathering era for me. I know I own a store. I've invested heavily in the product, but man, it's starting to become too much of a headache for how much you actually get out of that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. For more information, definitely check out the site. Don't take anything I say as legal advice, or as there's better sources to get it. I am just as a layperson reporting the news here. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.